Are we live? Oh, cool. Pull me up on the screen, bro.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Thanks. No, you're good. Hey, everybody. It's Corey. Jay's back there running the PC. We're getting things set up. We're rearranging our setup, and I think uh-oh.
That's all right.
For the first time tonight, I think you're going to be able to hear him on the stream.
You should be able to.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
it should be working.
Oh, this is lovely. In lieu of y'all harassing me, Jay can harass me.
Yep.
But I do encourage you to come harass me. Feel free to chat in wherever chatting in is good, or I've got my phone here if y'all want to message the Mars Instagram and say something. I will try my best to see it. So tonight, I have a little game plan. Our friend Louis reached out asking if I had any beats lying around that were in a certain style. I thought maybe making a beat for him would be a cool subject for the stream. If you don't know who Louis is, he's online. His accounts are all at not Louis, Lewy, Louis. He's, I think, he's the most popular social media user that I know. Good job, Louis. He's a cool guy. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we like Louis and we like making music with him. So we're going to take his request. So I'm gonna make a type beat today. Jay was just asking earlier.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, he didn't know what that was. I had to spell it out because he thought I was saying like a tight beat or something. I'm not a good enunciator either, which doesn't help. So type beat, I'm sure most of you who are watching the stream know what that is, but for those of you who don't, a type beat is like a beat that's made like in the style of a certain artist. So this phrase comes from like, say it might be like a Lil Peep type beat, right? So it's like the type of beat that Lil Peep might want to use or something like that. It's kind of ironic to me that they get named this way. They get named like after the vocalist who gets on them.
So it's not really a style?
It's more specific than that. Yeah, it's trying to get at a specific artist's style.
Oh, I see.
Which is kind of ironic to me because typically those artists aren't the ones making the beats. It's like the type of beat that you might hear that artist on.
Okay. So like the artist that made it popular, sort of.
Yeah. Well, essentially like. So I think the workflow for making them is like the sort of thing that I'm about to demonstrate here, where you might like listen to some of their songs, like pick out elements that kind of define their style, and synthesize that into a piece of music.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping to demonstrate here. I'm not going to make like a so-and-so type beat right now, but I'm just going to make a beat that is in the style that has been requested of me to make. I like these kind of things. I'm always like y'all see me sitting down here and trying to come up with like some parameters for myself to make some music by, and like that's all cool and stuff, but like I like getting other people's suggestions too. 'Cause I can come up with my own, but I have my own things that I'm interested in, and so I like getting out of my comfort zone and doing new things. So Louis sent me 4 songs, and I have them ripped and queued up in Ableton, and so. Jay's gonna get that was a little work cut out for him editing this video for copyright strikes, but good luck with that, Jay. It'll be fun. So I want to listen to some of these for a little bit, and we can talk about like what they have in common and what they don't. So like I said, this isn't a specific artist type beat, but there are only 2 artists represented here. Louis sent me 2 tracks from Young Lean and 2 tracks from Lil Darky. And we're gonna just listen to those and sort of pick out what elements they have in common, pick out what things that like I like about them because I'm the one who has to make this beat, and then we'll make a beat around it. So let's just like listen to them for a smidge. I'm not gonna like go nuts listening to the whole thing, but I'll just put on like a bit and we can kind of get a feel for what the tracks are about. So this first one is Young Lean Lightsaber Savior. We get the idea of like what's going on, right? Like I don't need to play the whole track and like all the vocals, especially with these lyrics. I love it. But we can like get an idea of what the track is about. So like hazy synths, We've got kind of this sort of like loose like 808 kind of thing going on in the intro here. And this really kind of like, I really dig that like blown out like lead synth there. It's really cool. Just like almost sounds like something getting electrocuted. It's kind of interesting. So we'll clock that and we'll move on to the next one. So I'm just trying to kind of survey what's going on in these tracks and get a feel for what they contain. And yeah, so onward. Yeah. Interesting. So file that away. Hazy synths, 808s, bells, delay. Onward. These are now the Little Darky tracks. So there's this like really like tonal snare that's really fun in there. Like that might be a nice element to bring. I don't really use those kinds of sounds very often in my own music, so like a lot of these sounds are kind of sounds that I like enjoy. So it's not a big reach for me to make something like this, I don't think. I can't believe I got myself played again. And there's even like a ba 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 kind of like two different snare pitches in there, which is kind of neat. I like that. So I think we're gonna use like a Rhodes of some kind. I think we're gonna look for some samples of some bells. I think we're gonna pull out some field recordings and I'm getting a game plan here together. That's nice. I feel like the last two and this next one are more similar than that first song. So we might be veering more in that direction anyway. So let's check this one out. This one is called Socks and Sandals. I relate to this song. I'm a socks and sandals guy. I don't care what anyone says. Gosh, this is fun. I really like this chord progression. This reminds me of this really cool beat that someone brought into Mars one time that I wish I could tell you all what it was. Oh man, I want to say it was I think it was a Lil Sketchy type beat actually that had this artist? Yeah, it was the artist. Yeah, Lil Sketchy. It was pretty funny. But there's I think the beat had the same chord progression. There was this really cool, like just super like crusty lo-fi beat that a student brought in a while back, and I always liked it. So like maybe I'll use this kind of chord progression, like. We'll see. But I kind of like this one's pretty simple, right? It's kind of got almost like this like reggaeton inspired sort of groove, but like this sort of like funnily filtered synth, and then the bass. This is like a really straightforward short little track. I think the track is like it's not even 2 minutes long. Jay, maybe we can get you doing some
rapping.
No, we'll leave that to Louis. Okay, so I think I have like an idea of what I want to do. So like, this is gonna be something. So I'm gonna start like collecting my pieces, because like I said, I have an idea of what I want to do, but I want to make it sound like these songs. So I need the stuff that sounds like this song. Like the exact like notes I choose to play don't really matter so much as like picking instruments. So let's get out some instruments. I was just showing someone else about this thing the other day, and I realized that I don't get into it enough. So I'm gonna use electric, which has been updated in Live 11. This is Ableton's physical modeling synth. So like it's designed to emulate the function of a electric piano. So like we've talked about like synthesizers that are like designed to like create sounds from scratch, and this is a synthesizer. It's a physical modeling synthesizer. So instead of like providing you with like a raw waveform and like a filter and stuff, it's like algorithmically modeling an actual physical body.
Did we ever figure how to zoom into stuff? Then we kind of talked about it.
Oh man, I think I accidentally like found the keyboard shortcut once. Like, do you remember like I like scrolled? Man, I should look that up real like.
Yeah, it was something like shift something.
Google it real quick for me.
Okay.
Oh man, this is great. Now I can be like one of those podcast hosts. Like, Google it, dude.
Yeah.
Let me do my thing. Look at. So, anyways, so I'm gonna just design a cool sound, and maybe if Jay can tell me how, like, zoom in on. I'm on Mac OS Catalina, if that helps. So let's see. Rather than like totally nerd out with this thing, I might like flip around just through some different like piano presets. There's a bunch of them that are based on this instrument, and so we can kind of like check out a few different tones and just get at something. I think that'd be fun, and then that's fun. So these are gonna have some like macroed out stuff in them too. I'm the kind of person who likes a lot of control.
All right, so it's saying that if you Alt Command 8,
oh baby,
to zoom in, it's Alt Command equals, and zoom out is Alt Command hyphen. Oh, yeah, you can get right in there, like to the pixel.
Awesome. Okay,
that's cool.
Over here, this thing. All right, I'm learning something new too. This is great.
Yeah, that's pretty useful. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot easier to see what settings you're changing.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take good advantage of this. Sweet. I actually do one thing. I want to make something from scratch here because this thing is like this is just so macroed up. So let's zoom in. Wow. Oh, I'm having a great time.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's spectacular.
Yeah.
Look at that, and it's nice because it all you Mac users out there, remember this, Option Command 8. And the nice thing is like it lets me like scroll it, but it doesn't scroll the window when I don't move it, so it just stays zoomed here as I interact with this thing. And it's scaling the speed at which my trackpad scrolls. This is great. What a time to be alive. I'm sure we're all here to learn about the zooming screen features of Mac OS. So thanks for bearing with me. So I'm just gonna like play around with this guy and like see if I can get it to do something more characterful.
So what is that little graphic down at the bottom? What is that? What is that supposed to be?
So like it's it's an explanation of the like physical sections of the physical device of
a hammer,
of a Rhodes style electric keyboard. So okay, music technology moment. So the way a piano, so this is like the Rhodes keyboard, which is like a really famous instrument. It's like a hybrid between an electric guitar and a piano, basically.
It's Rhodes?
Fender Rhodes, HRODES. Yeah.
HROD.
Oh, sorry, RHO. Oh my god.
Oh, I see.
Dyslexic moment.
Like
Yes.
Rhodes.
Rhodes. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Feel free to pull that up if you want.
Yeah. So it's like one of these things.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's like a suitcase style instrument. Jay's gonna get it up on the screen for you guys. Ooh, yeah, the Fender Rhodes. So a keyboard style instrument, right? And like a piano, it's got like a hammer action. So when you press that key, it lifts a hammer, and then when you, I should say, when you press the key, it causes the hammer to fall onto the string.
Oh, I see.
And so then
that's the hammer.
So that's the hammer, right? Well, actually, in this case, it comes from below.
Oh, so inside this like back part of it.
All right, let me back up. I'm sorry. The mechanism here is different. So in a lot of pianos, like pressing the key triggers the release of a key from above.
Mm-hmm.
In this instrument, it's a simpler mechanism. So if you can imagine the key like on a fulcrum, Like you press the key down, pops up and hits in this case the tine.
Right.
So pianos have strings in there. Electric guitars have strings. I guess this instrument is really a cross between a piano, an electric guitar, and a harmonica.
Wow.
Or an accordion.
It's quite the combination.
It's really wild that it works at all. So what the string hits is the fork or the tine, right? Like so the fork. So it's like a metal bit in there that's tuned to a specific pitch.
Okay.
So you have some like settings in here related to the tuning fork.
So that's like tightening or loosening the string, sort of.
Tine. Well, so it's not
Tightening?
a string. It's like a fork. It's like a piece of metal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you can get kind of like more inharmonic. It sounds like turning up the tine control makes it more inharmonic.
Hmm.
You can also do some weird things like add decay time.
Sounds like you're hitting a piece of wood now.
You have took all the tone out of it, right?
Oh, there it comes. Back around.
That could be kind of a fun sound. I don't know what I'm looking for yet. And then the pickup is the last part. So the pickup, this is where the electric guitar part comes in, is that the way it's amplified is that it's amplified with magnetic pickups, like an electric guitar.
Huh.
So we can change like pickup type.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually what that type is. Like, so R is, I don't even know.
I guess.
Gosh, I don't even know what these words mean. R is electrodynamic and W is electrostatic. It sounds like I need to learn about pickups because I do not understand what those words mean. If anyone does, chat on it and tell me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. And I'm not looking it up. I'm just going to make noise. So, yeah, so you can adjust parameters of the pickup here. So this one controls where it is in relation to the fork. Yeah, that's a pretty cool sound. Yeah, so you can adjust like the noise of like the.
So on a real one, could you actually change all these things?
No.
You
Well, I
couldn't,
mean, like no.
tune or-
So like if you pull that picture back up, it has some
Oh, yeah.
some tone controls. It like probably I forget what's actually on normal roads. Like, see, there's just like two knobs though.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Like,
right.
Like, there's
yeah.
probably one of those is volume. It's got a sustain pedal, so
Mhm.
like a piano. So if you want to like have a note, if you wanted to not like, if you want the whatever you call it, the hammer to not like come back up and like mute the string or like
Ah.
if you want if you want the string to or the time. I'm getting my pianos and roads all mushed together. But if you want it to not get muted again, you hold the sustain pedal.
Okay.
I forget what that other knob is, either like a tone control or like a vibrato effect. I'm not really sure. I haven't spent a lot of time playing physical Rhodeses. They're I mean, like they're around. Like they made a lot of them. They're pretty easy to repair because they're simple. But they're like I shouldn't say that. They're complex, but they're not like they're mechanical mostly.
Oh,
so
I see.
they're pretty easy to repair. So they tend to stay in working condition compared to like old synths. Sometimes just like like the circuit board gets all messed up and so much you can do. Anyways. So a really fun thing about this instrument is that it like gets growly when you bang on it. Well, it also gets growly when you clip your master channel. I'm not zoomed in like I normally. That's probably doesn't help. Oh, I am zoomed in. No, I take it back. So let's run this guy through an amp because that's the thing to do with this kind of sound. It's like an electric guitar. It's like meant to be run into an amp. That's how they work. So we're gonna get out amp and cabinet model, I think. Let's see. I thought there used to be a whole section for amp and cabinet in here, but maybe it's all rolled into amp simulation. Electric piano amp. That sounds like exactly what I want. So before. It's a little crusty. A little growly in there. That's neat. That's pretty fun. Okay, moving along. So we got our Rhodes. So it does wonders with just like a bit of reverb too.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. I shouldn't have been playing it dry this whole time. That was kind of silly.
Is that a hard and fast rule? Don't play it dry.
I mean, like honestly, kinda. Not really,
Yeah.
but like
At least a little bit of echo on there.
most sounds like want to be placed in a space, and it can sound really uncomfortable when they're not. But
I
like
see.
that's like an effect that you can use. Like you don't necessarily not everything needs a bunch of it, but like
Right.
most things like sound nice with a little bit of space. So that's cool. So what else do we want? We need like some kind of like okay, let's dip back into one of these for a little inspo. Oh yeah, let's get like a bass line going or something. Well, actually, I don't want to pick a bass sound until I've decided what more my groove is, because like the style of that is gonna be pretty different. So I do like how they're using the keyword there in like this kind of spacious way, and like it's got some delay on it too, and that's like really filtered, like oops. Like it might be fun to like kind of like do something more like mid-focused here. Turn that presence and the transient down. Ah, much better. Much better, much better.
So when you're using the plugins or the effects down there,
Uh-huh.
are they like going based on the order
Yes.
that they're in?
Yep, they are. Yeah, totally. Oh, dude, that's a great question. I would never have thought to explain that, but oh yeah, right. It's so nice to have someone to ask questions because I don't know what people don't know, and you know I've been doing this for a while, like, and so yeah. So the signal flow is left to right.
Okay.
And Ableton's like pretty. It makes it pretty clear.
Will it get mad? It will like.
Well, no, it's
Will
just
it
like it's
warn you that-
just really explicit about it. Actually, it's pretty like. I'm actually running effects on this track though in two different ways. Like there's effects in series and there's effects in parallel as well.
Okay.
They're happening in two different places. So like here in the chain, like it goes from left to right. But you can like subvert that like inside this preset, this electric piano amp preset. It's possible there are like parallel chains.
Oh.
So you can set up parallel chains in here. Maybe we'll find a reason to do that later.
Interesting. Okay.
If you remember,
So
if I
I
can
mean,
do.
there are ways that you could like mess up your sound if it's in the wrong order, or not really.
It's not gonna get messed up. It's just like it's just that these the effects kind of stack, and so like it sounds different depending on what order they're in.
Okay.
And so like you might choose an effect order. Dude, this is such a great question. I appreciate it. You might choose an effect order like with some kind of intent. My logic here in this effects order is I'm trying to like get something that sounds like it's like a keyboard
Right.
played through an amp and out a speaker that is recorded by a mic. That's all modeled in this chain here.
Okay.
And then like
Oh. That piano is
shocking.
possessed.
Oh my gosh, this is wow. Today, quite a day. So then you record that sound, and then now I'm EQing it as if I'm EQing it like in a studio setting, right? So if I wanted to like, say I wanted to put some other effect on it, like say I wanted to put like a little bit of chorus on it, because chorus sounds pretty cool, especially like a little vibrato.
Ooh. Kind of gives it a spooky.
Little seasickness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that to my advantage too. This like.
So what if you put that earlier in the chain?
Right.
Totally...
So like if you put it like it might not make a huge difference, but like here it is, like before it hits the amp, you know, like.
Oh yeah, you can definitely hear the. It's a little more.
So like check it out. Like what if we like duplicated it and put one after the amp too?
Oh.
And you know like offset or I don't know. I don't actually want to make it stereo, but like change the rate or something so they're not like.
Huh.
You feel like I like this like kind of thing of like modulating the same thing twice with two different so it's like actually just creates this kind of ever shifting chaotic modulation. So I'm like modulating it by the same amount but at a different rate. So sometimes they're aligning, sometimes they're canceling each other out. So the actual modulation is like this like kind of
varies a little bit.
Varying chaotic wave.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to sound kind of out of tune. I really like this like they added these cute graphics on the push. Check it out. Like
what are we looking at?
Oh, just like over here on the push.
Oh yeah, the wave on there.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I like this little like bird.
Like that's new.
Yeah, cutesy little bird. Oh, he's adorable.
There he is.
Anyways, so that's a pretty clear explanation, right? Of like
I think so.
Like, different effects. So like we can play around with some different effect chain orders.
Yeah.
So I have like some parallel effects going too. This thing's now going to a reverb, which is like here on a return track. So this reverb's nested on a return track, and like, which means that I can send signals from other tracks to it. So like I can have a bunch of different tracks feeding into the same reverb. And also that means that like I can process the reverb separately from the other sounds, which is nice. And I also have some parallel delay, which if you notice, like is kind of conspicuously dry, right? Did you hear that? Like the reverb dies out, but the echo keeps going.
Oh. Are the reverb and the echo two different things?
Yes, they're separate. Oh, what is the difference, eh?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Because I know I use like that echo stuff a lot in like simulating a room or something. Is that the right one? Or is the reverb?
We would call that reverb generally. But it's kind of the same thing. So so let's talk about that real quick. A brief moment. What are those things? So very very broadly speaking, reverb is the sound of like echoing of the sound of a space, like the sound echoing in a room. Reverb so that's reverb. Echo is not a technical term. Delay is the sound of sounds repeating again. Okay. So like the sound of an echo that is like a combination of both of those ideas, right? Okay. So check it out. So here's delay with no reverb. If that helps illustrate the point. Oh, sorry, I put reverb on my delay. That didn't help at all. Illustrate the point. Here's my illustration of the point.
Okay. This is without delay?
This is just delay.
Just delay. Okay.
The delay effect here is called echo, confusingly. Is the name of the plugin, but the effect is delay. So then reverb is the sound of like simulating a space. When you want something to sound like it's like in a room or in some other fantastical space. I've said many times here that I'm a fan of this plate reverb.
Sounds very much like a cave.
Yeah, it's a smeary sound. So like those are essentially the differences. I'm gonna turn up the decay time a little bit on that.
Ooh. That's quite the tone.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, yeah. So parallel versus series effects generally. Like, so if you want something to affect the core part of the sound, that's series. If you want something to add to the sound, that's parallel. Okay. Basically, pretty simple difference. Most of also like if y'all don't have any better way to think about it, time-based effects like reverb and delay are best used on return tracks, and that's about it. But anything you want to do in parallel is game. Parallel compression, parallel saturation, parallel distortion. It's all fair game. So, anyways, so I wanted to like filter this a little bit more like that. Oh yeah, really got all the probably put this an octave up. Cool. And then I want to set up something that kind of like this sound. So that's like sounds like a quarter note delay vibe to me. So I'm gonna go, oops, wrong button. Set this guy to quarters. And away we go. So this should kind of like give us like similar by things aren't soloed, right? Like
Oh, I like that. Whoa.
pretty close, right?
Yeah.
Different chord.
It is. Ooh.
Oh, there it is. Gotta wait for that to die down, though.
That's cool.
That's pretty much it, right?
Mm-hmm.
E minor, E flat minor 7. Okay, so juicy field recording. That's really nice. So let's find one for ourselves too. You know I've got 'em. So this one is just called Loud Bird. It sounds good to me. Doesn't look that loud, but
Yeah, I didn't hear
I
anything.
didn't hear much. But as, you know,
Oh, I see.
I gotta turn. So nothing 24 dB of gain can't solve. Perfect. Loud Bird. Okay, so like I want to like prepare this. Oh yeah, I wanted to do some warping. So we're gonna warp some like fun percussion at some
yeah.
point. Remember you had a question about warping last week, so I haven't forgotten about that. I'm just gonna get this Loud Bird prepared real quick. Quick field recording preparation. This one, I'm pretty sure, since this is from this folder, this was recorded with an H1N, that field recorder, very popular low-end Zoom. So you can see that the sounds are stereo also, which is nice. So like I've got actual, like a lot of times my field recordings are mono because they're from my phone. But now that I have the Zoom, things are getting zoomy. So I want to like high pass this pretty aggressively here because you can hear all that like low frequency handling noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's me touching it, and that's it being jostled, or like me breathing or something like that. It's not the bird. The bird's
It's not the bird breathing.
It's, you know, like yeah, I did not close mic this bird. No. And you can also see like here's the bird way up there. Nothing below here is really of value.
And the wind is like, or just the sort of like white noise is usually, it's higher up there too, isn't it?
Oh, that's everywhere. Yeah. So like that, what you're hearing there is like it's broad spectrum wind, but it's also probably some of the self noise.
Okay.
Like the it's cheap because it's notoriously one of the self noisiest of the field recorders. So like it's really not great for recording quiet sounds.
Right.
Unless you're the kind of person who doesn't mind a bunch of noise in their recording, like me, because I think pristine digital sounds are boring. Or at least it's nice when they're. I shouldn't say that. I think pristine digital sounds are great, but it's nice when they're augmented from sounds from the real world.
Right.
In that, like bringing in elements of imperfection into an otherwise perfect system gives things character. It's really easy to make things feel lifeless in the box. So like bringing literal life from outside to it is like it's all part of it. So now this should sound a lot smoother. I'm just gonna. Oh, I like how it's like kind of like a little footstep or something. All that handling noise is gone now. That's the nice thing about it. It was all, you know, it was all well below 1K.
How are you making that full screen?
Oh, you can double click this guy.
Okay.
Some of these guys have some like.
That's kind of nice.
It's really just this one. Yeah, EQ8 gets kind of like once you have all 8 bands going. I mean, pro tip: don't get all 8 bands going. If you're doing that much EQing, something else is wrong. But
right.
But yeah, it's just so you can kind of get a more fine control. And when you pop it out into this bigger view, you also get this like. This display, which I don't know how easy it will be to see unless I do bloom this guy.
Yeah. Oop.
So like when I point to a spot, it shows me the frequency to the 10th decimal, right?
Okay.
It also shows me the closest note to that frequency.
That's interesting.
And then here's the vertical axis of like the decibels.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pretty enlightening for those of you producing music, paying attention to like what frequencies, what notes are. Like might inform things like key choice. Like there's some keys that work better for like bass music than others because it puts the sub bass in a range that's audible on more speakers than others.
Oh,
Little funny things like that.
I didn't realize that like.
There's a weird, there's a whole, so there's like this whole like sad area of consumer speakers between like 50, well, really from 100 hertz and down, where like things start to, I mean, I suppose it starts even higher on like little phone speakers and stuff, like where things start to like not be reproduced accurately.
I see.
So like if I don't know if your sound system is going to be able to put out like, so like for example, like if I want to like really womp like a big heavy C note in a bass, a low sub C0 is 32 hertz. And then the next higher C up above that is like 66. That's like not really that subby up there anymore. Like, so you like with C, you have this choice of being really low or like kind of high. I mean, here I could like just play you those notes. We should because I probably have to design a bass sound from scratch anyway. So, like, so let's see. I'll demonstrate that real quick.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
So, this is not going to put, I can turn the filters off. Yeah, interesting. The filters are adding overtones. Do you see that?
Oh.
It's a pure sine wave when the filters are turned off.
That's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And it actually moves down and it makes sense.
If I add distortion, check this out. I'm going to add
never
distortion
thought about
to it.
Ooh. It doesn't really add
It's
more
literally
low
just
frequencies.
overtones. Yep. Just adding overtones. Yeah.
Can you go the other way and add lower?
No, not a thing.
Really?
I mean, they're kind of a thing, but like, okay, you can. There are.
You can do it.
I don't have. The tool is called a subharmonic synthesizer. But it basically, like, the way it works is it like tracks a note and then basically like generates a note below it. But you can't like bring out undertones in a sound. You have to synthesize them.
Right.
Whereas you can like use tools like distortion to bring out overtones. Right. But like kind of like the way the harmonic series works is like undertones aren't really a thing. That's a topic for me.
That's a whole nother thing, huh?
It really is, yeah. But okay, so here we're getting down to the basement here. So here's so first off, here's like C2, right? I think this is C2.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, C2. 130.
Okay.
So we get down to like C1 in the 66 range. That's pretty low, but it's not like crazy low. Notice it kind of becomes harder to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
And then check out C0.
Impossible to hear.
I can hear it on my headphones. But like
sort of
technically, like it's like a technicality.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if that made it through the Zoom or like the YouTube compression.
Yeah.
Very well. If I bring out some overtones in it, check this out.
Ooh.
Now you can hear
That's
it.
what will like rumble.
But that's like really low. So check that. So here's like a nice like fat like low thing, but like
that the kind of bass that will like shake the panels on your car and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But like check it out. Like you should be able to notice like it increase in power as I go up.
Huh.
You see like it kind of gets louder?
Oh, yeah. So is the
like because your listening equipment is reproducing those frequencies better.
Oh.
You know. Partially. It's part. I mean, it's among other things, but that's partially.
Right. They're kind of is loudness linked to frequency? Is it just how we perceive sound?
Yeah.
Like those waves are
it
not. It
sure is. It absolutely is. It's called you could look up something called the Fletcher-Munson curve. That's good luck with that one.
See.
Fletcher-Munson. But basically, like the idea is the way our ears perceive frequencies is not neutral. Our ears are most sensitive to frequencies around kind of like the frequencies at which voices are active. So like it takes a lot more energy in the extreme highs and extreme lows to make them sound the same volume for us.
Huh.
So the louder music is, the less loud the mids sound because everything else sounds relatively louder. So this is the Fletcher-Munson curve. I know this is like really difficult to understand. It's like kind of weird. But basically like the idea is that curve represents how like loud we perceive sound, like how much sound pressure level a frequency needs to sound as if it's the same loudness to us at a given loudness, basically.
Interesting.
So at low volumes, it takes way more low frequency energy. You know, so like this is the same logarithmic chart that I'm looking at here on EQ8, where each of these lines are like down here represent hundreds and then thousands and then
right,
or tens and then hundreds and thousands and then 10,000s. So it's like right there in that like sub bass energy on that Fletcher-Munson curve thing, like you see just like shoot up like crazy.
Oh, I see.
So like what it's telling you that even at like the loudest, like even at those like at the loudest level, you need that like sub bass down there in that 30 range needs to be 20 decibels higher, or you know 15 to 18 decibels higher to be the same volume as a 300 hertz sound.
Interesting.
Right? And 20 decibels is a lot of decibels, especially at that loud. Like 103 decibels SPL, like that's like permanent hearing damage level.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's like mess you up real good level.
Oof.
So, you know, like just to make it as loud, just to make the low frequency sound as loud as a high frequency, that's totally in a safe level. So that's an interesting thing, right? So anyways, so we think about this stuff a lot. Like as music producers, we can use that to our advantage. So like knowing that like this effect works. This is why like the Ableton and like the extra OTT effect is so popular, because it creates this mid-scooped thing that reflects how our ears hear loud sounds. So not only does it make the sound louder, it scoops the mids like our hearing system kind of naturally does.
That'd be a good name for a ice cream shop.
Scoop the mids?
Yeah.
Oh man. Scoop of the mids. I like it. All right. Thank you for taking me down that little rabbit hole, Jay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know it kind of like segues us around, like from what we're trying to do, but
I think it's just fine though. It's all relevant, you know.
yeah.
I really like how this sound has like something really weird about it. It does like there's like a little noise like right before the end that's like kind of like fun. So like I kind of want to like it'd be like a little like weird transition sound or something like that, you know? That thing.
Sounds almost like a rustle of. What is that? It's a little gust of wind.
It's just that handling noise, but it's being so filtered now that it like sounds like something else. Maybe I actually want. Trying to get it in just the right spot. There's like a sweet spot for this thing where it'll like. That's the sort of thing I wanted it to do. That's like silly, but it's worth it. Anyways, okay. Oh yeah. Let's get this guy right on the beat too. Remember we were talking about like what you can do with warping.
Oh yeah.
And what you can't do.
I definitely wanted to see.
So like I want to like I want this hit, like there's this like random click in here and like this is just like a dorky thing, but I kind of want like I want it to like land on a strong beat. And it's kind of close to it right here. I just need this hit to be a smidge earlier. So what I can do down here in the clip view, if warping is on, is I can like select that instrument and then or that sound spot in the waveform, and then I can just drag it back, and you can see it's stretching the waveform up top there. And then I'm just gonna like get it to line up with that, and then boom. So now like when this thing hits, like it'll be exactly on the grid.
Does that like speed up or slow down how?
Yes.
Like the part before, like does it have a certain fall off where it?
Yeah, so there's different ways that it does it.
Uh-huh.
These are the warp modes in this little
It's
menu
complex.
down here.
Okay.
So we have these different warp modes that pertain to like how it handles. So if you're like taking a sound, like say like if I have a sound and I want a spot in the middle to go earlier, that means that it's gonna like it's gonna play the first half a little faster and the second half a little slower.
Huh.
You know, and so like the way like it can either like actually speed up or slow down the playback. Well, it has to change the speed of the playback, but it can either do that by speeding it up or slowing it down or interpolating the pitch in a bunch of different ways. So like I've chosen this way to do it where it like keeps the same pitch. It's just going to it'll just like make some like more sense. Oh my gosh, the whole 4 songs played at once. That's a little much for me. Oh my gosh, it's been almost an hour and I still have not put any clips in.
It's my bad.
Jay, we're cutting you off next time. No, it's cool. We're being educational here. So, all right, we got some field recordings. We got some roads. I said I was going to make a bass sound from scratch. Let's just... This thing is like pretty close to my sort of like default bass sound that I like to make anyway, so... So what I like to do to make bass, like to distort, like especially kind of like a subby thing. I like to distort a bass that's somewhere between a sine and a triangle.
Is that wavetable one all one thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is Ableton's wavetable synth.
And what is the
named.
like wavetable? Is that just you can modify the wave essentially?
The idea of a wavetable, I think we talked about this a few streams back, but real quick is like so like normal synths like start with like a simple oscillator, like you might get like a sine wave or like a square wave.
Oh, okay.
But wavetables allow you to like interpolate between shapes. But then it also allows you to interpolate between all kinds of other things.
Oh, wow.
So basically allows you to easily...
Yep.
Allows you to create these, like, speaking of the harmonic series.
Oh, that's a cool one. It almost has a 3D look to it.
Yeah, totally. It's supposed to.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's kind of mimicking the view and like I mean I guess they all kind of look like this like because it's got to represent this wave and also how it changes over time, you know. So you kind of need 3 dimensions to represent it visually. Right. It's not my favorite like. So some of them have fewer like steps and then they just get interpolated, you know, and then you know like some of them are just. Interesting. Right, yeah. That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah. What are you turning on there? Sub?
Yeah, so sub is like another additional oscillator.
Seems like it makes it lower.
Well, it's just a straight like. That's the sub by itself. It's being really heavily distorted too. Like
I see.
That's it by itself. It's kind of cool. So I'm gonna smack this thing. I'm trying to do more Ableton native effects just to like keep it simple for y'all. I don't know if I like this sound or not. Kind of like the click at the beginning is kind of fun. I wanna set it up to do like that like nice 808 style pitch drop thing. So I'll use envelope 3 to do that. So I don't want to double up on my amp envelope because I want that to control the volume. That's cool. And then, so here in the mod matrix, sorry, what did I say? Envelope 3, want to control, I forget if it's the, I guess it's, where's the parameter that I want? Is it detune? Oh, yeah, it's the pitch, huh? Yeah, here we go.
So are you assigning that?
So what I'm having it do is I'm having envelope 3 modulate the pitch.
Okay. What were you doing in the like matrix thing? Matrix? Is that what it says?
Yeah, oh, I guess I can't use the sub. Yeah, so the matrix I was assigning it, so like the envelope 3 is affecting, is like raising the pitch as much as it can.
That's cool.
But if you make that happen really fast.
That's.
You get that like attack kind of thing.
Huh.
Why is this? Oh, I'm like, why does this feel so quiet to me? I guess it's just because it's so distorted, huh?
Wow.
There we go. Something like that.
Yeah.
We'll fine tune it later. So I'm kind of getting close here. So like now I like kind of like gotta figure out what sort of like groove vibe I'm after. So I'm gonna dip back into the tracks real quick. It's not that different from that bass sound, is it? Like. Just a little more filtered. Sounds like someone saying Toyota or something.
Toyota.
Or like, I think he's Swedish, right? Someone chat me and tell me where Young Lean is from. I think he's Swedish, right? So maybe it's some Swedish thing. Anyways, I don't know what it is.
Could be.
You can chat me and tell me what that sample is. But we're gonna find some weird piece of something, like somewhere. What would be like a cool thing to do? You got any ideas, Jay? Like
What's that,
cool
for the
piece
bass?
of cool piece of dialogue, just like
Oh.
to grab or something. Oops. Any hot ideas?
Cool piece of dialogue. Do you have any like crowd noises, like people talking in a?
Sorry, I'm just sneakily recorded you asking that question. I was gonna see if that worked. Oh, it did not work.
Can you record me?
Well, it's actually
Sorta.
That's weird because I set the input to the microphone, but it didn't take it.
A sneaky recording.
I tried to do a sneaky recording. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Didn't work though.
Oh, it's like.
You gonna make me listen to my voice over and over again?
Well, I wish I could, but I think it's not. I think it must be the HDMI output. It's like disabling my microphone.
Oh.
Shucks. Okay, so
Weird.
I'm not gonna sneakily record you. I'm just gonna dip into my field recordings for something. I'm just gonna find some funny recording of someone's voice. Oh, Ableton is not happy right now. Oh, that's right. I relocated that folder. That's why.
Well, you don't have a USB connection from this Focus, right? Do you?
Dialogue on this thing.
Oh.
I'm walking around. Mic's about 6 inches from my face. Oh yeah. So I was like almost gonna like do this like nature podcast thing, and so I was like testing gear out to like.
There you go.
To like see if we could get something going. I want to find just like some funny words from in here somewhere though. Okay, perfect. This is a weird recording. Old Daisy. So oh yeah, so let's play with some warping with this, and we'll like make this do something weird. I'll show you like what those warp
Okay.
modes are about. So by default, when you drop a clip into Ableton, it's warped. So that's why it sounds so whack.
It tries to like fit it to the.
Yeah, it tries to like. Sorry, you guys, I can't playing though. Dog whining and it's triggering. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. It's trying to like make some sense of the of what's going on in here and like turn it into like some kind of regular rhythm that's a lot. It's like it assumes that I'm trying to put something on the grid.
Right. There's no way to like.
You can disable that
so
setting, but
Oh,
I
you
keep it
can.
on because it's more like most of the time you are, and when
Okay.
you're not, it's pretty easy to just like smack the warp button and unwarp
Oh, I
it.
see.
So
It's
here's
right
it's unwarped.
Ah.
You know, let's try and grab this like funny word. There's some humorous word in here. Vice hour. Kavite something. Kavite hour. Kavite hours. It's got some music in the background. We'll have to pitch this into it correctly. Because I just wanted to like grab like some like funny little moment of dialogue, and like we're gonna like replicate that like young lean thing with that idea. So he has it like hitting like in a couple big moments up here at the top of his beat. So I'll just like do that too. Okay. Silly little random vocal blip. Not thinking too hard about it. Okay. What do we want to do for the drums? Let's get a drum rack together and start thinking about these things. So I'm gonna try. Okay, geez, this is just moving right along. I will promise music is gonna get made at some point today. Kind of like that sort of like weird, sort of like tubby, like tom kind of sound. It was kind of neat. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get out the old drum rack. Why is the drum rack in here? I thought I'd macroed you up there. Toms. So I'm just gonna like grab things like I hear in these. Big clap. It's kind of like a lo-fi sounding clap. Let's just see if anything. Here, I'll show you how to warp with this thing. We'll do a warp thing with that. Oh yeah, that's kind of in the vein. With the verb baked in already, it's kind of convenient. Okay, so that's kind of what's up with that one.
We used to be.
All right, sounds like. He's all about those toms. Okay, we're gonna have to feature some toms pretty heavily in these things. Really like that groove.
Chilling in my spirit, I can feel him, I can hear it, I know. I never thought
Oh yeah, I think I want to do something like this.
I would see this place again. Pretend that I know. I never thought I would.
The groove is fresh. It's a little more. I'm so into that. That's great. That like sort of like filtered, kind of like chopped like live hi-hats. So let's like find some hi-hats. Like it would be really great to find like some like hats like like loops from a real drummer. But we'll see. A lot of this stuff is gonna be like all like hip. All my loops are gonna be all hip hop oriented. Yeah, that's not as fun. Let's see if I have anything. Well, we'll get there. Maybe we can let's see if I got some breaks I can chop. There's got to be some. It sounds to me like it's like sampled from something, but we'll see. Drum sounds. Oh, drum loops breaks. Here it is. Oh no, where are those? I should know my sample folders better. I grabbed at some point an entire big folder of loops, like breaks. We'll see if we can find any of these. Like, so I have like some of these. I feel like those are like in the. Oh man, I want to get that sound. I'm trying to find one of these that has just like a ton of hats in them. I'm just gonna grab a few of these ideas and like pick them out for now. And look for some hi-hats to sample. I think it's gonna be pretty crucial. That's too fast. Maybe like I'm gonna check out a different section here. Just want some hi-hats, please. That's kind of cool. We're gonna like mash these up to make some like wacky hi-hat thing. It's gonna be fun. But you gotta go through the painful picking and choosing part first. It's a good groove. But I'm looking for that nice like. We could use that maybe. That's kind of chill. Simple, easy peasy. Yeah. Okay. So I want to like get something like jiggy 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 going. I want to get a little jiggy with it. Like this one. The sort of thing you can get, like it almost sounds like it's like a couple different breakbeats layered together and then filtered pretty heavily. So like maybe like a fun trick with clips like this, like there's too many snares in here for my taste. But you can go in here and do something weird with the clip gain. They can like mute them. That's kind of a fun effect. weird sound. So we're gonna group all these guys through their own thing here, and we're gonna process them. They're going to get a drum bus, and they're going to get an EQ8 where they're gonna lose all of their low end. And I'll roll the top off here, add some crunch and drive and some comp.
Did you like group those together?
Yeah, they're all grouped. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can they not like sit on the same track?
Well, they can't. You can only have one thing on the track at a time. But they
Oh.
can be on. So they're within this group 12.
I see.
So I can process them together
Right.
in parallel. Or
But if you moved
series, I
one
mean. I'm sorry.
up there, it would just.
Yeah, like overwrites it. You can
Oh.
crossfade between them.
Oh, but I mean, yeah, you can have two different.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted different tracks because I'm gonna like layer some stuff here.
Ah.
So like, I'm gonna do a different approach with this one. I'm just gonna like actually just like lop these like downbeat snares out. I don't know why. Like, because I want a backbeat. And then I don't really like that vibe, so like I'm gonna simplify that. So I'm gonna put these all on. Kind of fun. So a little complicated, but. So I'm just gonna make these all like mush together to make something make sense. Like I don't know why. This is what I feel like I'm doing. Ooh, I like the kind of like swoop.
Yeah.
Weird soupy sound there. So I think this is like a little like off time here. No, it's like. Oh, it does like yeah, this like a little offbeat hit is a little funky here. So it's like causing some push and pull in the whole arrangement. I think it's this one maybe, like. So I'm gonna quantize this clip. So here's what warping can do. So like if I don't want to manually do it, sometimes I just want all these hits to be a little more like on the grid, so I can just automate it.
Oh. So we'll do that even with like waveform stuff?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Pretty convenient. I don't like that. That's too much. I want more hi-hat. So I'm going to isolate some hi-hats out of these. And just like insert hi-hat where there's no hi-hat. So I'm gonna find some hats in this one too. Not mentioning them off, like boom, boom, boom. Fun. Okay. So I'm gonna consolidate all these clips because I think they're like, well, actually, like, what's going on here? Let me like improve this a smidge. That's tight.
What did you just do there?
So I consolidated them, so they were all separate clips. So now they're all single individual clips.
Oh, I see.
The advantage to that being that I can then loop them.
Ah.
So I was gonna do something weird to that voice. We're going to get out Little Altar Boy. Let's reverse it too, just for fun.
How do you reverse it? Is it just a...
R.
Oh, okay.
Handy shortcut.
Super easy.
Okay, so like we gotta get some like little harmonic content going in here. A little inspiration. Do we want this kind of vibe? Oh no, we said we wanted this. I kind of said I wanted to do this bass line, right? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. He's in the key of A here. Remember we're talking about like good keys for bass music? A is a really great key. So that's like a nice low sub, you know? Well, that's pretty fun.
It's got a lot of character.
Add a little space to that. Not much. All of a sudden it feels less weird. Anyways, does that go with this kind of groove that we've got going on though? Like, I don't know yet. I think that could be kind of
yeah.
cool.
I think that will work.
Yeah, something like that. I think would be pretty neat. Let's get these guys stretched out longer and looped properly, and then I'm just gonna jam that idea around until it comes out right. Like. That's probably good. I actually like the take before that. I'm gonna slide this on back. Oops. Look. Jake, can you turn me up?
What's that? Your own?
Yeah, my whole
Volume?
overall volume, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How's that?
Yeah, thanks. I feel like that one was a little late. I'm gonna like quantize it. I'm gonna do my little quantize some of the way trick. Well, okay, so this I'm gonna mute that weird voice for now, or maybe I'm gonna do something more fun with it. Let's do. I don't know if this beat is coming out like how I was planning on it, but I'm having a good time.
Sounds cool to me.
Yeah, I'm into it. So we have a chord progression now, or an implication of a chord progression. The bass notes are A, E, F, and D. Classic. Oh yeah, hey, by the way, new feature. Now not only can you fold to the notes that you've chosen, but you can also fold to a specific scale. Although it's not letting me do that right now. I don't understand why. Oh, weird. Not the most useful new feature, apparently. I'm not sure why I'm not getting that option. Oh, if I select a scale. Cool. Here, now I gotta learn how it works. So if you enable scale mode, you can see what notes fit in the scale. We're in the key of A minor here. Oh, this is tight. I love this. So this is like one of like like this is gonna be a game changer for a lot of people using live. I think like just make things so much easier to like kind of get the theory under your fingers. You can see now these highlighted in the color of the track, the notes that fit the scale, and you can even now fold it away. So all of these notes, except for this random, for some reason there's a random B flat note that got triggered somewhere. So now, like if I start entering notes, I can't enter a note that's out of key.
So you could just draw something and it would all be in key.
I actually didn't hate that. Which,
Yeah, I know.
which is like really weird, but I think we're getting away from the style of track that this is supposed to be at this point. It's kind of like turning into something a little like dancier. We shouldn't have listened to Floating Points right before this. Like I'm like thinking about go when you're done with the stream, everyone. You can go check out go stream the song King Bromeliad by Floating Points and get yourself in the mood to groove. But I'm trying to make something for Louis here, not something for me. So, got it. I hope you like this, Louis. So we're in the key of A minor. So I'm just gonna like just because I don't really know what I want to do, and I kind of want to like turn my brain off and just like play a little bit. I'm gonna put this thing on in key mode. So now it's the same thing as in live. Like now all of this is quantized to a scale. I can't play notes out of key. This instrument seems so quiet to me. I need to like do something about the volume here. So I'm going to insert a utility plugin and turn that up. So I don't want to have to like, I just want to like have it be. Oof. Maybe it's just because it was so low pitched. Oh yeah, that's fine. Can't do anything wrong with like Rhodes and a reverb and delay, and if you're locked into a scale. But I want to play something that's compatible with this bass line. So that might mean I have to like kind of like abandon the idea of this much delay, but I'm just gonna like jam out for a minute. There's something there. Like, I mean, I'm kind of bummed out this thing is not as responsive as I would hope it would be. Not being very consistent about the behavior.
Looks like it only works half the time.
And it seems like it's not like very like on it. I'm really disappointed with like the pitch bend.
Is this the like only version of this pad, or are there newer ones?
This is the latest version. Yeah.
Oh, this is the newest one.
I'm just not crazy about touch strips in general, though. I think they're not for me.
Would you rather have like they do have like dial too, or like a little.
I'd rather have a
rolly
physical
thing?
mod wheel like a normal keyboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But they're more useful.
Ah.
Anyways, they're trying to keep things compact. It's like
I see.
It is useful. You can like flip modes with it and like set it to be like a like it's slightly more useful as like well as the mod wheel rather than the pitch bend wheel. But but I just want to go like wah, wah.
Yeah.
I just want to make a weird noise. Come on, guys. Whatever. Like this thing's like so growly. I want to see if I can like tune it down a little bit. Like I'm not really sure level of the pickup or like tone or like the something. Like I don't know. Yeah, there we go. A little sweeter sounding. It's like a little more vibrato going in there. Ooh, lovely. Okay, so. Oh, I lost lost the plot on that one. There was something kind of cool in there. I like that one. That was
Yeah.
fun.
That was cool.
Like there was like a last 2 of those that were kind of nice. So I'm gonna duplicate this section. It's gonna mess up my reference tracks, but that's okay. I'm probably not gonna reference them much more at this point, because I kind of like the version before that too. Some pretty wildly disparate velocity levels. Rather than editing them individually, I'm just gonna use the MIDI effect. Yeah, I think the second half is just better, probably. Nah, maybe that's not true. I'm not gonna stress about it too much. I'm gonna quantize them a smidge more, though.
Does it play them when you select them?
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, it does. It plays them when you select them.
Yep.
It was like I was hearing it weird.
I feel like I need to like undo my way out of some of that quantization because it got a little like. Oh, maybe it actually wasn't that bad. I don't want it to like lose the kind of feeling. But I want it to be tighter. I might like take those first 4 bars and like paste them in. This is gonna get kind of crazy, but.
Do you know anybody that like only makes MIDI tracks like this, like draws them in?
Yeah, it's pretty common actually.
Is it?
Yeah, for some styles of music, it makes more sense than others. I mean, my background's as a live musician, so like I'm like feel like I'm like trying to play to my strengths and like improvise something that has like some like live feeling to it, you know?
Right. But you could sit there and like draw in every.
Oh yeah. So like you just get kind of a different result, you know? Like I'm going for like a real human feeling, warts and all kind of performance here.
Right.
Like, you know, like I'm like is like the sort of concept. And so for that sort of thing, this works really well. If I wanted something like real perfect and like blocked out, you know, like EDM stuff, like works really well that way, drawn in.
Okay.
Because like everything's all precise like that, you know.
Right.
Like yeah, it works for certain things. Like
Okay.
I'll program some bass lines sometimes. Like it just depends. Like I tend to like be aiming to keep things loose, though, and that's why y'all see me
Right.
playing stuff all the time. Just because I'm trying to come at it that way. So let's turn this into some kind of arrangement a little bit, because we're starting to like get somewhere. Oh yeah, you are a loop.
I guess if you didn't have like a MIDI controller or anything.
Oh
that's
sure,
about
yeah.
The only way you could really. Or I guess you could do it on the keyboard, can't you?
You can
like,
do, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You can play it on your typing keyboard or all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Weird little fill here. I'm not sure which beat I'm emulating anymore. But let's get a little kick and snare action going in here, and then we're just gonna whip up an arrangement. So I'm gonna like, oh yeah, I never really I pulled out drums and a drum rack. I never used them. Gosh. We've really been all over the place tonight, but it's fun. I like it. I wanted this to be a kind of a more cash thing, anyways. Like I don't, you know, I was hoping that more y'all would yell at me,
Yeah.
but I appreciate that it's you, Jay.
Where's all our fans at?
I think we know where they are. No, I don't know where they are. Where are all our fans?
Yeah.
I
Well,
do not know.
we might be doing a giveaway. I don't know if anybody's watching, but what are those things called? They're like electric drums.
Yeah, like electric.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Electronic drums.
I think it's the same set that we have here.
Oh, cool.
So keep an eye out for that. I'll be making some social media posts, and that's probably going to be later in April. We are going to do. I'm actually going to be on camera myself next week.
Oh yeah, Jay's taking over.
Yep. I'm not sure what exactly we're gonna do. I was thinking of doing some music stuff. Maybe I'll go on Ableton and I don't know, transition into well, so next week will be something. I'm not sure yet.
Heck yeah.
April Fools. So those of you that are here will know that we'll be tricking you all, and I'll be on stream instead of Corey. But then let's see, I think the 8th and the 15th are going to be actually a like stream setup rundown They might be a little bit like shorter streams, but I'm just gonna kind of go over some stuff in OBS and show you kind of how everything's set up in the office here. Yeah, should be pretty cool. So look forward to that. I'm also going to be at the Axis Humboldt's Media Maker Night, and I might make another post about it on our Mars Project Instagram. So I'll be there talking about more live streaming stuff, and yeah, just hanging out and talking to everybody, and then kind of follow that up with those other 2 streams. So, what are we working on over here? Did we add more to the pad?
Yeah, I stuck some more drums in here.
Okay. And so everyone you click there has all its effects and everything after it? After the
yeah,
waves,
so what
I
you're
guess.
seeing is it's like switching. That's like this window. Here's the sampler. So it's like each one of these pads hosts a different sampler,
Okay.
and it can have its own chain. So I can put like effects on individual drums and not others. So it's pretty fun. Very flexible.
Nice.
So I had. You want to like slow this sucker down a bit. I'm just gonna try and like find something in these drums real quick. I think that's like a fun idea. I'm just gonna make all those things congruent because I kind of thought that was fun.
What's that one that's like louder than all the other ones? I like that one. The like chirp noise.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That's just a random snare from a sample pack. There was like a big trend in like trap drums a while back, where everyone's or not everyone, but like a lot of people were doing these snares that had these like huge tonal elements to them. And I suspect this is a
A remnant of one of those.
yeah, it's like a holdover from those days. So I'm going to tighten this up quite a bit. All right, so I had like a plan here for the arrangement. I just had some inspiration as we were doing this before. So without further ado, let me whip that up for you all. We're gonna roll this guy out here, but then cut him. So it's gonna be like. So I wanted to do like this, like. I want to bring that tempo back. It was fun, faster, wasn't it? crop this guy, make it a loop.
What's the fastest you've ever made a track, and like
How'd it actually work?
had it like somebody, like a client or somebody asked you to make something for them? What's the fastest turnaround you've had, like from scratch? If you were just to make something, like sit down, make something from scratch, like a few hours.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not sitting here like explaining my process, like it goes faster for
Right.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
And like it all kind of depends. A lot of times, like the sort of work I get engaged in is either like kind of like longer projects, or where that's kind of like speed of turnaround is the only thing, or it's like if I'm making rap beats, I'm not often doing this sort of thing where I'm like producing something on spec like this. It happens sometimes, but like either folks will come to me with an idea for a song and I'll do that. They'll be like,
Right.
I have a song that goes like this. These are the chords that I'd like you to program, and then we'll like make that happen,
Right.
But then there's like sometimes I'll just like make beats. Like I have like a random catalog of beats. I can play some random beats off here.
That would be cool.
If you're curious, you can show you like a more finished looking project. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Because I know you like pretty much end with the finished thing in 2 hours. I mean, it's not polished, but it's there's still something you can upload and
sure, yeah. If I like, you could like speed that up too, probably if I was doing the same thing over and over again and be like, hey, I'm trying to crank out a song in 2 hours like every day. I could like you might template out some like stuff with like some some mix chain, like some effects, like so you like like all the sound sweetening stuff was already done, kind of thing.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of that, like kind of like getting efficient with your workflow.
Right.
I feel like that's a weird pitch. It's supposed to be tuned to the key, but I kind of don't think it is. So y'all be skeptical of the way your samples are labeled. I'm willing to concede that I might be wrong here, but it kind of doesn't sound like. Yeah, that seems more like a G sharp to me than a A.
Oh.
That doesn't really help at all. For reference,
Can you?
Here's an A over here. So it sounds like that note sounds like more like F sharp.
Can you use that little tool that you'd used before? That like
Transpose it.
Well, there was that little. It looked like a tuner for a guitar or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that not for that?
The tuner really expects like a strong. It's tonal enough for that's surprising.
Okay.
It's barely picking it up, but it's suggesting it to me that it's like just shy. But you can see this. You can see the peak over here, and it's like it's A-ish. So this thing seems to think it's slightly sharp, like somewhere between 10 and 20 or 30 cents sharp. 17, 21. So like we could just raise it by or lower it by like roughly that amount. So the detune control over here, lower it by about 17, ish. If it ever decides to grab the pitch again.
That's weird. Oh.
Closer.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be perfect. Like things don't need to be perfectly in tune. They just need to be close enough.
Right.
Now it's better though. Trying to catch up with myself over here. I never use this thing. And then let's like repeat all that. And then that could be like the ending. Ending here. So what did I do? Like I didn't really think about bars here. So it's like this is supposed to be for a rapper, eh? So it's kind of got this like it's kind of got a long intro on it. Let's consolidate this intro idea. So I'm gonna have it be half as long. So it's gonna kick in here at bar 9. So now I'm gonna think about like bars. So here, like, so here's a 16, here's a 16, here's a 16, here's what is this? Oh, yeah, see, I didn't think about it too hard. So I'm always like trying to think about like are people actually gonna like rap this? How is it gonna work out for them? So here's a 16, here's a 16, here's kind of like a. Did I like accidentally make like a 12? Because then, yeah, I did.
So the bars are like the that like part of
bars meaning like how many measures of music, like literally, like if you're counting it out, like how long does it last? So I'm trying to make things like happen in groups of 4 so they're accessible and easy to get on. Like, and also my chord progression is a certain length, and so it needs to, it's a 16 bar loop. So. I'm trying to break the song up in 16 bar sections. Okay. So, and I'm trying to have it so that no two, like what I'm doing with this one, since this is like kind of like a lo-fi style beat where it's like, the idea is that I'm going to have like a big arrangement of a bunch of different parts. I'm trying to differentiate the parts by just dropping things in and out. So like this 16 starts. You know, and then like the next one is like everything's all in the whole time, and then the next one it's all like dropped out or whatever.
Oh, I see.
I might like do something else. I'm gonna go in here real quick and like mute the like drums here, like. So I know it can be like uncomfortable, like going in over naked bars with no beat in them, you know. So like, if you're not feeling that groove, I feel like this is like who if you can't feel that groove, I don't, you know, you maybe have a problem, but like, but it can be like hard, you know, like. I don't really. I don't like how it's like popping up to that A note up there. I feel like it sounds really sour right there. Do you notice that moment? When this like purple part and the drums kick in here, it sounds like kind of off to me. And I think it's because of that note choice.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really sound that bad. Like that sounds cool, but the snare's playing this note.
Oh.
Right? Really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those notes together don't sound very good.
Ah.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but. So, like, what if we tuned that thing instead of like to that A? What if we dropped it 2 steps to the G? That's the top note of the. Ah. Yeah. Ah, that felt way better to me. So that's like, even though that's not the root of the chord, it's matching what's going on in the high frequencies.
Huh.
Right?
Right. Oh, I hear it now.
So I'm kind of like picking up on some rhythm in this bird loop.
The birds got rhythm.
Yeah, the bird's got some rhythm there. So like that's why I'm wondering where like maybe I need to like get something else in there so like it doesn't like throw people off.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
I think that note that like that's not that shocking once you hear it in context. I think like when we start here, like that note just feels like comes out of nowhere. But in the context of the song where people will have heard it already before it comes in, I think it won't be that uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, that's loop. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. That's like a weird idea, but like it's not. That's doing this no favors. So, oh my gosh, it's 7 already. I don't know if I should keep doing this any longer. I feel like I've kind of like hit a point with this where like I just need to like fine tune this, but I have like a general sketch of the idea. This may be a cool beat and it may not be. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I was having a conversation with my poet friend Jenny yesterday, and writing poetry, writing music, or like sometimes it just feels like you're like fishing for ideas, you know? And like so we just like Louis laid out like the water that we were gonna go fishing in here with these like reference tracks, and then like we went and just like looked for what we could find with that as our inspiration, you know? Like sometimes you come up with something cool and sometimes you don't. But like I feel like even if this isn't the thing that he was hoping to get out of it, like I'm still like think it's pretty neat. And so like, you know, if you're ever making type beats for someone like or whatever, like just because you don't end up with what you intended to, or it doesn't meet the goal that you intended to that you started out intending to meet, doesn't make it useless, you know, like someone else will love this.
So is it the usual process? I mean, I imagine you can come at it with like you have the lyrics, the rap or whatever, and you record that part and then make the music for it, or is it usually the music is made first and you rap to the music?
It's really difficult to like put music to vocals that aren't recorded to music.
Right.
Like I mean, if you're a really good vocalist and you have a really great sense of time, or have a click or something, you know. But typically that's not how people work, you know. Like they want to use their voice to interact with the beat somehow, and especially now that like melodic kind of stuff is so popular, like a lot of people are like singing in the key of the beat and all that stuff too. So like that becomes really important. So typically the workflow is the exact opposite of that. That like beats like. You know, beats are out there and people hear something that you're inspired by and they write to it.
Right.
Like that seems to be the main thing. You know, like there are people, like I feel like if you have a really tight relationship with a producer as a rapper, like vocalist, songwriter person, like, you know, like you can get stuff custom made. You know, like I was saying before, when I'm working with Two Tank, like sometimes we'll work on a beat that he brings in. Sometimes we'll work on a beat that I made and it's like, hey, I think you might like this sort of thing, you know?
Okay.
And sometimes he's like comes in with a song idea and I like make a beat there, like, you know, to whatever like I'm like, oh, like figure out what the notes are that he's singing and like find a chord progression that fits and find a groove that, you know, that kind of thing. So it can work all kinds of different ways. You know, like in like today's era of like, you know, we were having that conversation earlier about individual artists or whatever versus bands. And so like in this era of individual artists, it's like easy to like kind of like dip and like try instrumentals from different people and like, you know, like you kind of piece things together and like you don't have to like rely on one person to put out all your instrumental content or whatever. But the opposite of that is like you develop these close working relationships and you can develop these pieces that like are a little more high concept, maybe is the word, you know. Like I was saying, like I'm going through here and making sure everything was nice tidy 16 bar bits, so that you can put in 8-bar sections or 16-bar sections, you know, in whatever, you know, you can, like if it's all regular out in like I don't have to pick where the verse or the chorus goes in this song. Like I can sort of suggest it to the artist, but I can like also leave them some flexibility. You know, I'm trying to like not dictate how their song is going to go. I'm trying to leave them room to write a song.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I start doing stuff with like clever chord progressions or like a part where the rhythm changes or like a change keys or like, you know, like tempo or something like that, like that becomes more challenging to write to. And some people like that challenge and, you know, rise to that challenge. But like it's if you're like trying to make money selling beats, that's probably like not what you're gonna do. And so there's
Right.
this kind of like trend towards the like adaptability. Like I'm tempted to, like I want to say the word simplicity, but that's not the correct word. Maybe structural simplicity is an okay way. You know, it's like compositional simplicity. Like the
Right.
tunes are not simple necessarily, but like the form is relatively simple. It's not like a long form classical composition where there's like many different sections and they go through different
Right.
feelings and moods and that kind of thing. It's all kind of like laid out for, it's like just it's a music bed for someone else to be creative on top of.
Right.
And so it's a real challenge to like not over compose.
Yeah, I would think it'd be difficult. I guess it's kind of, why I was asking is in film you have these, I think typically you have like, your visuals and then you compose the music to the visuals.
Yeah.
But like you can also do the opposite and it works, you take a song and you make visuals to it. Like most of the time I feel like with a music video, the song's already recorded and done and ready. You're making the visuals to the music. But it also happens where it's can be composed with the visuals. So the process can work both ways.
Totally.
But so it's kind of interesting. I imagine like a singer-songwriter sit down and they sit down and write their lyrics out and then come up with the music to it after.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
As a person who has been more of a singer-songwriter in the past, for me, the lyrics were always the last thing.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm
Interesting.
a non-lyric focused musician.
Uh-huh.
And so like you'll notice that there are types out there, both people who listen to music in different ways like that, where they're like where the lyrics are the thing they pay the most attention to. Like for
Right.
me, it's like the vocals are like almost another instrument sometimes. Like
Exactly.
And so like I like music where they're treated that way.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I don't like music that's not, but it's like it's a thing that I enjoy.
Right.
Where yeah, it's just utilized in different ways. So I tend to be more about like I think about things like feeling, like kind of overall vibe, and like I think about textures a lot as a like a person who pays attention to music. Like I really think a lot about texture, which is not really a musical word, but it is.
But still, like
what's happening, like how are the different parts interacting,
Right.
and like how are they creating that? Like what are the actual elements that evoke that feeling in me that I'm hearing?
So, like listening to songs, in other languages, sung in other languages, it's really fascinating because you can still feel a lot of the emotion, even if you can't understand the language. You can like still really, get that sort of emotion and feeling from these lyrics that you may really not be able to understand, but it's still all there, which is really cool. I don't know how that is from a non-English speaking like view. It'd be interesting. I wonder if people who don't speak English that listen to English music feel that same way. If English is, I guess it's sort of a musical. It's not as musical as some other languages.
A lot less.
But
English is kind of ugly language.
I would-
There's a lot
yeah.
of like harsh sounds and like words that end in consonants.
Ah.
So I love rap in romance languages for this reason. There's a lot of like
interesting.
There's a lot of
Like French?
or like Spanish.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flexibility in that.
That's
like,
true.
there's a lot like there's more similarity in word endings. So there's like a different rhyming opportunities in different languages. Just like I think about this a lot. We like you hear in like American like rap music or whatever, like you hear like a lot of the same phrases from different people because they rhyme.
Right.
And there's only so many things that rhyme with such and such a word,
Exactly.
But like every language is different in their complement of words that rhyme. And so like in like
Interesting.
Spanish or Korean or whatever, like there's like, a whole other set of rhyming words and like the way that language gets played with in those,
That's So when you really start thinking about, the lyrics as another instrument, that's, kind of that idea. So it's pretty fascinating.
Totally.
So,
Real quick, I wanted to like show you another project.
oh, yeah. Let's
We
do
were
it.
talking about like these type beats, and so or like beats to spec.
Uh huh.
So I just want to show you. This is a beat that I made for Mike, my buddy Two Tank.
Ooh.
Out of respect for him, I'm not going to play a whole lot of it, and I'm not going to play any of the vocals because this is an unreleased, unfinished track. But I just thought I'd show you like something that started out as a client idea. So like we sat down. He was like, I have this melody kind of concept. I think I actually may have like started out like, you know what? I started this beat somewhere, and then he like had a melody idea, and then I altered the beat to fit it, and then he altered his melody, and then ooh,
Whoops! Accidentally faded to black. We're not done yet.
No, not yet. We're going long tonight. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I can't remember where like what the original version of this project is, but he had some idea of the melody that like altered what was going on with it, and then I had to change it to fit, and then and then he changed what he was singing, and then I had to change it to fit again, and so we've arrived at this like thing that's kind of cool and weird. But he had this like vocal melody that sort of followed like we ended up making a bass line out of it. So like the sort of vocal melody thing he came with was something like this, like oh, excuse me.
No.
Why don't you play? What?
Silence.
Well, maybe y'all aren't going to hear this right now.
Oh no.
Wait. I was going to say like, oh, maybe there's a fade, but the fade is not on. Why does loading up a second project not work?
This reminds me of opening up a Blender file and there not being any textures, and
Oh, this is just a weird one.
you don't know where.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here.
There's one button.
View my problem down
Oh.
here. The master is routed out to the virtual outputs of my Apollo, which isn't currently connected.
Oh.
So,
Wrong output.
which is weird that those out, like you think it would disable those outputs when they're not.
Mm.
There's no multi-output device connected. But anyways, so yeah, I like this all started with like a pretty simple idea, but here. Kind of a similar vibes this last one.
I dig the flutes.
Thanks. Why is it cut out right there? Actually, it's not supposed to be cut out right there. Oops. That's like preset little sounds I found in Ableton, but they're kind of fun.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different layers in here. There's this flute. It's like sorry. This is like a drum rack
Huh.
with different articulations
Oh, I
on
see.
different pads.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's just like simple little. Just does that the whole time.
It's so interesting when you can get in there and like break down all the different little pieces. It'd be fascinating to see like a some famous artists
Really neat
mix.
Yeah,
like,
it's really, really neat. Those resources are out there. You can go and like look up on like YouTube or wherever. Like you can see big name mix engineers. There's actually a lot of folks streaming on Twitch right now. Like maybe not right now, but like I know like some folks are following some like R&B and rap vocal engineers who are just like stream their mix sessions and recording
cool.
sessions. Yeah, like a bunch of folks are doing it now. Like
Yeah.
just this kind of thing I'm doing, but like maybe go watch them. I guess is what I'm.
If we had more viewers on Twitch, we can do a raid.
Oh, that'd be
This is
fun.
where you take all your viewers and you send them to them.
Oh yeah.
So like you like if you had 10 people watching, you could jump into somebody else's stream and send all your viewers to them, and they get a big notification that somebody rated your stream, and so it's kind of a cool little like community thingy where you can.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. You and me and this one Twitch viewer.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think
Thank
the
you,
one
Twitch
Twitch
viewer.
streamer is actually a bot. So
Thank you, TwitchBot.
yeah,
Appreciate you.
he just kind of keeps tabs on us.
Yeah, he's a good old bot.
He's always there.
Good old bot. So this is like another piano thing that I played in. This one I think I like. Yeah, I left it pretty loose too. Similar kind of concept. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways,
that's cool. Yeah.
little funky little thing, but you know, like this is gonna end up being a finished track, and it's not gonna be any more complicated than this. I think we're gonna like leave the beat like that. It's just
Yeah.
5 elements, you know, and
Uh-huh.
and so like there's like a suggestion of like a melody here. Like there's like the piano plays a melody, but it's so soft and like kind of like low in a low register that there's like plenty of room to chuck some vocals on top of that. You know, like there's both like sonic space and like rhythmic space. You know, like frequency space. Like there's not a lot in that middle vocal area, and there's just like not rhythmically a lot going on like there either. You know.
Right. Oh yeah, we have an actual robot too. There's our one chat of the night. Thank you.
Woohoo! 2
Congratulations.
hours and 15 minutes into the stream. Nice to hear from you, robot.
It's weird because I feel like we our viewer count still is a little funky sometimes.
Yeah, we gotta hit up those restream devs.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Anyways, I shouldn't play too much more of this. This is an unreleased secret track, so
Secret track.
secret hidden track. Anyways, you know, like
Cool.
this stuff doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't need that many elements. You know, like a bunch of popular songs are made with less pieces than that. So
Cool.
yeah, I guess we should probably wrap it up and let Jay get home and have some dinner.
Yeah, I'm hungry. But I think this is going to be kind of like the format of our podcast style, where we will hopefully eventually get to the point where we'll maybe have a guest on like over Zoom or something, and then have one or both of us on camera so we can also talk to the person on Zoom and do sort of a podcast style thingy.
It'd be pretty easy to set up a cam on you too, just if you want to like flip to your face like while
Right.
you're chatting.
Might need
into.
some extra lighting. I'm kind of in the dark.
Right, yeah,
over here,
totally.
but,
Man, this thing is really pulling its weight. This one light you got.
Yeah,
like,
I'm kind of been using the sun too. We're
Yeah.
lucky that we had we lost one of our lights.
right.
So to some tragic accident involving the what do you call it?
the boot of your car, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to call it.
But
Sorry, I'm not from the UK.
anyways, so yeah, hopefully we'll get some kind of podcast style thing. We're still sort of working out, but that might be in collaboration with Access Humboldt, and then be we'll have both the video and a just an audio only version of that as well, to be put on some of the local radio stations and online, and whatever. And we'll definitely always be looking for themes to that. And if we don't get any suggestions, I think it'll just kind of be like bantering back and forth about music or video or
Little
current
both.
events, things, whatever it might be,
Oh, yeah.
regarding to teaching art and learning art and creative stuff. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks y'all for hanging.
Yeah, thanks you.
Robot and the rest of the fam, especially for chilling. Friendly reminder to those of you who are ardent fans and watchers, I'm not going to be here next week because I am getting my second dose of the vaccine. So it'll be Jay for a few weeks, and then I shall return.
Yep, I think about 3 weeks. So the beginning of April, first 3 weeks of April, and then we'll be back to Corey, and maybe by that time we'll have talked more about the podcast thing, and so you might see us twice a week. We'll see.
All right.
Or
Until
once every
then,
other week.
smash that follow, subscribe button until your finger falls off, and we'll see you next
I
time.
think if you press it twice, it's gonna
Oh,
unsubscribe. So
right.
only press
Smash
it one time.
once really hard.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you next time.
All right.